Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yes, welcome back.
Today we're going to be tackling a really popular topic.
Yeah, a hot one.
It's plant-based diets.
It is.
There's just so much information out there,
So much.
but also a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to cut through all that today using a really great source that we found.
Awesome.
It's a fact sheet from SUNY Downstate Medical Center.
Okay.
And it's called Myths and Facts, Plant-Based Health and Nutrition.
Catchy.
We're going to get to the bottom of some of the common myths around plant-based eating.
Yeah, like, are Oreos really vegetarian?
They are.
Really?
That's one of the facts in here.
I can't wait to hear more.
And we're going to be presenting both sides
Of course.
of the argument,
Always.
looking at everything
Yep.
that the source material has to offer
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
so that you can make informed choices
Informed.
for yourself about plant-based eating.
Well, I really like that this source focuses on whole food plant-based diets.
Okay, so WFTB,
WF.
like not just giving up meat,
Right.
but like really focusing on whole, unprocessed
Separate foods.
plant foods as like the foundation of your diet.
Yeah, the stars of the show.
Okay, well, so first let's define what plant-based even means, because there's so many interpretations out there.
There is a spectrum.
Yeah.
We've got flexitarians who are mostly plant-based, but, they'll have some meat or fish once in a while.
Yeah.
Then we have the vegetarians who avoid meat completely,
Mm-hmm.
and then the vegans who exclude all animal products.
Oh, wow. So even honey.
Even honey, even that little bit.
Okay, wow.
So this deep dive's really focused on the WFPB approach.
Okay.
So we're thinking lots of fruits and veggies, whole grains, legumes as that base.
That's that foundation.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, so let's jump into like one of the biggest myths out there,
Okay, hit me.
that plant-based eating is expensive and inaccessible.
Yes, the old money bags myth.
Is that what it's called?
We can call it that. But in reality, staples like beans, lentils, sweet potatoes,
Yeah.
they're super affordable.
They are.
Easy to find.
And they're even covered by SNAP benefits.
That's right.
So really, this is for everyone.
It is.
And, if you're thinking in the long term, a plant-based diet can actually save you money
Oh, absolutely.
down the line.
How so?
Well, because you're avoiding those chronic diseases that are linked to like a less healthy diet.
You're thinking heart disease, diabetes.
Exactly.
Yeah, those can really drain your bank account.
Big time.
Whereas if you stock your pantry with affordable plant-based foods,
Yeah.
that's an investment.
In your health.
Exactly.
Okay, so myth busted.
Busted.
But what about getting all the nutrients that your body needs?
Yes, the million-dollar question.
Can you really thrive on just plants alone?
It's a good question, and the source tackles it head on.
Okay.
Plant-based diets, they're already packed with fiber, antioxidants, protein, and calcium.
Okay, that's good.
But there are a couple of nutrients that need a little extra attention.
Okay, so which ones are we talking about here?
We're talking about vitamin B12 and vitamin D.
Okay.
B12, you usually find that in animal products. So if you're not eating meat, you might want to think about a supplement.
Uh-huh.
And then vitamin D, well, we can get that from sunshine,
Oh, yeah.
fortified foods, or supplements.
Okay, so it sounds like with mindful planning, you can get everything that you need
Exactly.
on a plant-based diet.
You got it.
Okay, great.
And that's where this whole idea of junk food vegetarianism comes in.
What is that?
Just because something is vegetarian doesn't automatically make it healthy.
Oh,
The source actually uses Oreos as an example. It's a classic.
they're vegan.
They are.
Like,
It really highlights that you need to focus on those whole, unrefined plant foods.
Not the processed stuff.
Exactly.
So you could technically live off of Oreos and French fries and call yourself a vegetarian.
You could, but you wouldn't be doing yourself any favors.
Not at all.
Okay.
So it's quality over quantity.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk about another big misconception,
Okay.
that plant-based diets are all about carbs,
Carbs.
which means blood sugar spikes.
Right.
So are carbs the enemy?
Well, it's not that simple.
Okay.
We need to distinguish between refined carbs and unrefined carbs.
Okay, so give me an example.
So refined carbs, think white bread candy.
Okay.
Those get absorbed quickly,
Uh-huh.
and that's what causes those blood sugar spikes.
Yeah.
Now, unrefined carbs, think fruits, veggies, whole grains.
Okay, I see the difference.
They're digested much slower,
Okay.
provide sustained energy without those dramatic ups and downs.
So it's not carbs in general, it's the refined ones
You got it.
we need to watch out for.
Refined is the enemy.
Okay.
And get this, studies show that whole food plant-based diets can actually improve blood glucose control for people with diabetes.
Oh, wow. So it's the opposite.
It really challenges that idea that carbs are inherently bad.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Good.
So what about pregnant women?
Yeah.
Is it safe to go plant-based while you're expecting?
Another area where there's tons of misinformation,
Really?
but actually a plant-based diet during pregnancy has a lot of benefits.
Okay, like what?
Well, first of all, it's naturally high in folate,
Right.
which is crucial for the baby's development.
Right.
Plus, all those fruits and veggies can actually lower the risk of excessive weight gain
Okay.
and gestational diabetes.
Oh, wow. Two big concerns for a lot of pregnant women.
They are.
So, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about iron
Yes.
and those essential fatty acids that are so important
Great question.
for a growing baby?
Plant-based diets can provide plenty of those too.
Okay, so like what?
So for iron, think whole grains, legumes, leafy greens.
Okay.
And then for healthy fats, avocados, seeds, they provide ALA fats.
Uh-huh.
And then seaweed is a good source of DHA and EPA,
Okay, and I know the source emphasizes the importance of B12 supplementation,
especially during pregnancy.
especially during pregnancy.
Yeah, it's always best to chat with your doctor or a registered dietitian just to make sure all your nutritional needs are being met,
Makes sense.
particularly during such a crucial time.
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
Okay.
so another question.
Cute.
I know a lot of people worry about feeling hungry on a plant-based diet.
Hungry all the time.
Yeah, is that a legitimate concern?
It's actually the opposite.
What?
Many people actually find that they feel more satisfied on a plant-based diet compared to a typical Western diet.
Wow.
And the key is fiber.
Ah.
Plant-based foods like veggies, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds.
Yeah,
They're all packed with it.
and that helps us feel full
It does.
and prevents overeating.
Exactly. It's like built-in portion control.
I like it.
It's pretty cool.
So this brings us to the protein question.
The big one.
Can you really get enough protein?
This is a myth that our source tackles head-on.
Okay, good.
First of all, the recommended daily allowance for protein is lower than many people think.
Okay, so how much are we talking?
For someone who's inactive, it's just 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight.
Okay.
If you're active or pregnant, you need a bit more, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not this massive amount
Yeah.
that everyone seems to think.
Right.
And the good news is protein is everywhere in plant-based foods.
Okay, like where?
Think nuts, beans, lentils, soy products like tofu and tempeh, whole grains.
And isn't it true that even like green vegetables, potatoes, fruits, they all have some protein?
That's right.
Wow.
It's more widespread than people realize.
Okay, so you can get enough.
You can.
But is it as effective as animal protein for building muscle?
Another good one.
Yeah, because I feel like there's this idea that plant protein is inferior
Right.
to animal protein.
There's this myth out there that you need meat to be strong.
Yeah.
But we can put that myth to rest.
What?
There are so many plant-based athletes out there who are succeeding,
Oh, yeah.
like David Carter, Tom Brady, Venus Williams, Kendrick Ferris.
Wow, so many.
Yeah, and they're all building muscle and strength just from plants.
And the source also mentions a scientific review
Yes.
that found no difference in muscle gain between soy protein and animal protein
That's right.
supplementation.
The science backs it up.
Wow.
When it comes to building muscle, plant protein is just as good as animal protein.
That's great news
It is.
for anyone who's hesitant to go plant-based because of those protein myths.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, this is a great start to our deep dive on plant-based diets.
It is.
We've busted a lot of myths already.
Yeah, we have.
And it seems like plant-based eating can really provide everything that your body needs
Your little planning.
to thrive.
You got it.
Okay, so we've busted some major myths about plant-based eating.
We have.
The cock, the nutrients, even the protein question.
It's amazing how much misinformation is out there.
I know.
Right.
But what if you're not ready to go full vegan?
Yeah,
Can you still reap the benefits of a plant-based diet?
absolutely.
Okay.
You don't have to do a complete 180 overnight,
Right?
to see positive changes. It's all about finding a balance
Yeah.
that works for you.
Mhm.
And, gradually increasing those plant-based foods in your diet.
Okay, that's a relief to hear
Huh.
because sometimes it feels like all or nothing.
It can feel that way.
But it sounds like small steps can still make a big difference.
Definitely.
Even just like adding one more plant-based meal per week
That's a great place to start.
could have a positive impact
Absolutely.
on your health.
And there's research to back that up.
Really?
Yeah, one study found that people who ate more plant foods had a lower risk of type 2 diabetes,
Wow.
even if they weren't completely avoiding animal products.
That's amazing. Okay, so,
Yeah.
we've talked about the spectrum
Yeah.
of plant-based eating,
Hmm.
but I think it would be helpful to just clarify
Sure.
what those labels actually mean.
Okay, let's break it down.
Yeah, because vegan, vegetarian, flexitarian,
It gets confusing.
it can be confusing.
So let's start with veganism.
Okay.
This is like the strictest form.
Okay.
No animal products whatsoever.
So no meat, poultry, fish. Eggs, dairy,
Not a drop.
honey.
Even honey.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's a complete commitment to a plant-based lifestyle.
Wow. Okay, so that's veganism, and then what about vegetarianism?
Okay, so with vegetarianism, there's actually a few variations.
Okay.
The most common type is avoiding meat, poultry, and fish.
Okay.
But they might include eggs and dairy in their diet.
Right, so like lacto-ovo vegetarian?
Exactly. They eat both eggs and dairy.
And then lacto-vegetarian is just dairy.
Just dairy, no eggs.
Okay, and then there's also pescatarian.
Oh yeah, the fish-loving vegetarians.
Yeah, they'll eat fish.
They'll eat fish, but no other meat.
Got it. Okay, and then lastly, there's flexitarian.
Ah, yes, the flexitarians.
Like, seems to be pretty popular these days.
It's definitely trending.
Yeah.
So basically, flexitarians eat mostly plant-based, but they'll occasionally have some meat or other animal products.
Okay.
It's really about flexibility,
Yeah.
making conscious choices to include more plant-based foods without all those strict rules.
I think that's great, and it's
Yeah.
a good reminder that it's not about being perfect.
Absolutely.
It's about finding something that works for you,
that you can stick with.
that you can stick with, and that you enjoy.
Exactly. Find that balance.
Yeah, okay, so that's helpful to kind of break down all those different terms.
Oh, I hope so.
But practically speaking, what does like a well-balanced plant-based meal actually look like? Because I'll admit sometimes I get stuck in a salad rut.
Oh, the salad rut. We've all been there.
Yeah.
It's a common misconception that plant-based eating is just all about salads.
Right.
Salads are great,
Yeah.
but there's a whole world out there.
Okay.
Think variety, colors, textures, flavors.
Yeah.
Aim to include a bunch of different food groups in each meal.
Okay, so give me some examples.
Okay, let's start with breakfast.
Okay.
How about a warm bowl of oatmeal,
Okay.
topped with berries, nuts?
Yeah.
You get your fiber, protein, healthy fats.
Okay.
Or, if you want something savory, a tofu scramble
Okay.
with veggies and some whole grain toast.
That sounds way more exciting than my usual toast and jam.
I know, right?
Okay, what about lunch and dinner?
Okay, for lunch,
Yeah.
how about a hearty lentil soup
Okay.
with a side of whole grain bread,
Hmm?
packed with protein and fiber, keeps you feeling full?
Yeah.
Or a quinoa salad with some roasted veggies?
Okay.
A nice mix of complex carbs, protein, antioxidants.
I like it.
And then for dinner, you could try a stir fry
Okay.
with tofu or tempeh brown rice and load it up with colorful veggies. You
Okay.
get a complete protein with all the essential amino acids,
Uh-huh.
plus a rainbow of nutrients.
That all sounds incredibly satisfying.
It is.
And it seems like there's just so much room for creativity in the kitchen
Absolutely.
with plant-based eating.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's super versatile,
Yeah.
You can adapt recipes to your liking.
Totally.
Experiment, have fun in the kitchen.
I love that it's not about feeling restricted.
No way.
It's about like exploring new flavors and ingredients.
That's the spirit.
Okay, so speaking of exploring,
Yeah.
there are so many resources out there to help people on their plant-based journey,
There are tons.
like websites or organizations that you recommend.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine,
Okay. PCRM.
PCRM. They've got a ton of info on plant-based diets, recipes, meal planning guides, even the latest scientific research.
I've heard of them. They're a big advocate for plant-based eating.
They are.
Yeah.
Another great resource is the T. Colin Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies.
Okay.
They offer online courses, insightful articles, and a fantastic collection of whole food plant-based recipes.
And of course, we can't forget about the internet.
The endless internet.
The internet is a great resource, but there's also a lot of misinformation.
Oh yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
So how do we know what to trust?
Well, stick to reputable sources like the ones we've mentioned.
Okay.
Or even better, consult with a registered dietitian
Yeah.
who specializes in plant-based diets.
Good advice.
They can help you sort through all the info
Yeah.
and create a personalized plan that's perfect for you.
Okay, so I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier.
Okay?
The environmental impact of our food choices.
Yes, a very important topic.
Animal agriculture
It's a big one.
really takes a toll on the planet.
It does.
Can you talk a bit more about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So animal agriculture is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions.
Wow.
deforestation, water pollution,
Oh.
and the loss of biodiversity.
Yeah, it's not good.
These are serious issues that are
Anyway.
impacting the health of our planet.
And I feel like it's finally starting to get the attention it deserves.
I think so too.
Yeah.
People are starting to wake up to the connection between our food choices and the environment.
And the research is clear.
Oh, yeah.
Shifting towards a more plant-based diet can really reduce our environmental footprint.
It can.
So by choosing plant-based foods, we're not only benefiting our health,
Right.
we're also benefiting the planet.
It's a win-win.
I like that.
Yeah, reducing our reliance on animal products is one of the most powerful things we can do for the environment.
It's pretty amazing to think that our food choices can have such a ripple effect.
I know, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
Every meal is an opportunity to make a difference
I love that.
for ourselves and for the future of our planet.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
It has.
I feel like we've debunked so many myths,
We have?
and we've learned so much about the benefits
Yeah,
of plant-based eating, both for our health and for the environment.
absolutely.
But we're not done yet.
There's more.
We'll be back with part 3 of our deep dive, where we'll be talking about some of the potential challenges.
Ah, yes, gotta keep it real.
Yeah, and downsides of plant-based diets.
Okay,
We'll also address some of the common concerns that our listeners might have.
sounds good.
So stay tuned. All right, so welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah,
We've explored so much about plant-based diets already.
we have.
The myths, the benefits,
Uh-huh.
the practicality, the how-tos,
Yeah,
the nitty-gritty.
but like any way of eating,
Yeah.
I think it's important to acknowledge that there are some potential downsides and challenges.
Of course, you got to keep it real.
Exactly.
No diet is perfect.
Right.
There's always going to be some things to consider.
So let's talk about those.
Okay.
One concern that I hear a lot is the risk of nutrient deficiencies.
Yeah, especially if you're not planning your meals carefully.
Right. So we talked about B12 and vitamin D,
A big two.
but are there any other nutrients that people eating plant-based should really be mindful of?
Well, there are a few others that need a little extra attention.
Okay.
Iron, calcium, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
It's not that they're not in plant foods at all. It's
Really?
just that you need to be a little more aware
Right.
and make sure you're getting enough.
So it's not just about like cutting out animal products. It's
Yeah.
about like consciously replacing
Yeah,
those nutrients.
exactly. You've got to be mindful about those swaps.
Okay, so give me some examples like good plant-based sources of iron.
Oh, there are tons.
Yeah.
Lentils, spinach, tofu, kidney beans.
Okay.
Those are all great.
And is there anything you can do to like enhance absorption of iron from those foods?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A good trick is to pair iron-rich foods with something high in vitamin C.
Okay, so citrus fruits.
Citrus fruits, bell peppers.
Okay, I see.
Those can really help boost that iron absorption.
That's a good tip.
It is.
Okay, so iron we talked about.
Check.
What about calcium?
Calcium, we mentioned leafy greens,
Uh-huh.
but there are lots of other good plant sources.
Okay, like what?
Calcium fortified plant milks are awesome.
Okay.
That's this tofu that's made with calcium sulfate.
Okay.
You can also look to almonds
Uh-huh.
and sesame seeds.
Okay, and those are all good sources of calcium.
They are.
Great, and omega-3s.
Ah, the essential fats.
Yeah, we know they're so important for heart and brain health,
They are.
but we usually think of fish as the best source.
Salmon.
Yeah.
But you can definitely get omega-3s on a plant-based diet.
Right.
Flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, hemp seeds.
Yeah.
Those are all excellent sources of ALA,
Yeah.
which is an omega-3 fatty acid
Okay.
that our bodies can convert into EPA and DHA.
Okay, but I've read that the conversion from ALA to EPA and DHA isn't very efficient.
Yeah, that's true.
So is that something to be concerned about?
Well, some studies suggest that only about 5% of ALA is converted to EPA
Wow, so low.
and less than 1% to DHA.
Wow, so even lower.
But you can potentially improve that conversion
Okay.
by making sure you're getting enough of other nutrients that are involved in that process.
Oh, okay, so like what?
Things like zinc,
Okay.
magnesium, vitamin B6.
So it's not just about like eating a tablespoon of flax seeds every day.
Right.
You really got to make sure that your overall diet is supporting
Exactly.
conversion.
Yeah, think of it as a team effort.
Okay. And what if someone's still concerned?
About getting enough EPA and DHA.
Yeah, especially those two.
Especially those two.
Are there other options?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
You could consider supplementing with algae-based omega-3 supplements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they actually provide a direct source of EPA and DHA.
I see.
So you bypass the whole conversion thing.
That's a good option for people who want to be extra cautious.
What is?
Okay, and I think it's worth repeating.
Oh,
If you have
yeah.
any concerns about getting all the nutrients that you need on a plant-based diet,
Yeah.
talk to a registered dietitian.
Absolutely.
who specializes in plant-based eating.
Couldn't agree more.
They can give you personalized advice.
Yep.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about the social aspect of plant-based eating,
Yes, the social side.
because it can be kind of tough
You can.
to navigate those meals
Yeah.
with friends and family
Uh-huh.
who don't share your dietary choices,
Right.
or even just figuring out what to order
Yeah.
at a restaurant.
That can be tricky.
It can be.
It's a very real challenge.
It is.
And it can feel kind of isolating, especially when you're first starting out.
So what are some strategies for handling those situations?
Gracefully.
Yeah.
Well, communication is key.
Okay.
Let your friends and family know about your dietary choices in advance. You could even offer to bring a plant-based dish to share.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And what about restaurants?
If you're going out to eat, do some research beforehand.
Yeah.
See if they have any plant-based options.
And if not?
Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Most restaurants are happy to accommodate dietary requests.
Yeah. Chefs are usually pretty creative
They are.
and willing to work with you.
Exactly.
You know, it's okay to make occasional exceptions.
Oh, for sure.
It's not about being perfect
It's not.
every single time,
No way.
you know?
We gotta live a little.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance.
Find what works for you.
Progress over perfection.
Absolutely.
This has been such an incredible deep dive.
It has.
I feel like we've really gone beyond just the surface level and explored all the nuances of plant-based eating.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the everything in between.
Exactly. And I think it's important to remember that food is more than just fuel.
Oh, it is so much more.
It's about culture, tradition,
Yeah.
enjoyment, connection.
Yeah. It's a part of who we are.
So as you're exploring the world of plant-based eating,
Yeah.
I encourage you to approach it with curiosity,
Mhm.
openness, a sense of joy.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah, food should nourish our bodies and our souls.
I love that.
So experiment with new flavors.
Yeah.
Explore different cuisines.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, and find what works best for you
Exactly.
and for your unique needs.
You're unique.
And remember, every step you take towards a more plant-based lifestyle,
Every little step,
no matter how small,
no matter how tiny,
is a step towards better health
it is.
for yourself and for the planet.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge
And the inspiration.
to embark on your own plant-based adventure.
Your plant-based journey.
Until next time, happy and healthy eating.
Bon appetit. Eat